At this time, I'd like to call on Commissioner Finn Cannon to give the invocation.
Pray with me. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you, Lord, for another beautiful day. Thank you, Lord, for allowing us to be here in a country that we can worship you and pray to you. Lord, with the ongoing pandemic, I pray, Lord, that you continue to be with our first responders, our medical staff, our military. Lord, also coming up this week, Christmas. This year's been a real trying year for a lot of us. There's been a lot of sickness and a lot of death, and I just pray, Lord, that we keep our eye on you, Lord, and we keep looking forward to what you have for us, Lord. All these things, Lord, I ask for your Son that died for our sins, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Y'all join in, pledge allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now the Texas flag.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you. Take seats, please. Okay. I ask if there's any public comment to be made at this time. Okay, we'll move the consent agenda. There's a lot of consent.
There's a lot on there.
I have a motion then to approve. If there's not any questions or any items that need to be clarified.
I also make that motion.
Thank you.
Second, Judge.
Thank you. Okay, motion by Commissioner Finn Cannon, second by Commissioner Hall to approve the consent agenda as stated. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Okay, item number 1 under general business, review and approve the regular bills for payment.
Motion to approve.
Thanks, sir.
Second, Judge.
Any questions or comments on any of the bills? Motion by Commissioner Beecham, second by Commissioner Waller to approve the bills for payment. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Item 2 is open and take necessary action on scrap metal bids.
Judge, the first one's from Bell Processing. Was that a single bid item, or is there opportunity for multiple pricing? Willie, do you know?
Yes, it depends on the conditions of the bid,
Oh, okay.
but it applies to all precincts.
Okay. They're bidding 60% of market price on heavy metals. I'll have to translate that for me. I'm not sure what the rest of it means.
There's, just for your information, Judge, as far as scrap metal, there's commodities. They change monthly. They set the markets monthly. So when most all them companies, they can make a bid on it, they'll bid at the level for whatever that month is. So
Okay, so
There-
that 60% is
Of what
60% of where the commodity level is for that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Okay. Any others?
No, Judge, this wasn't a bid, so
Oh,
this is something unrelated.
all right.
So they actually bid their margin then, I guess is what it amounts to, which is
Yes,
good.
sir.
That's a good way to do it. I mean,
just in case, they go
Yeah.
through the roof or they drop, the bottom drops out, they can't agree to pay you $100 a ton if they can only sell it for $50
They
a ton.
just bid their margin, so
Right.
that works.
All right. You all wish to take action on that now, or you want to take a look at it, or?
I mean, if it's our only bidding,
Yeah.
it's
You're not gonna,
simplistic.
it's pretty simple, but across the board with every scrapyard that's in town, they're not gonna be, if they didn't take the time to bid, that's because there's not a lot of margin in it either way, so they're probably not worried about it one way or the other. But
Well, they have the same opportunity.
Do we
But-
bring it to them?
every local scrapyard was mailed the information, and it was posted on the website and on the board, and I believe in a paper.
Right.
So.
But I mean the material, Mick, do we take it to Bell?
The way it, and I haven't read that one, but I do know that they had brought something about if we have a large amount, I think they probably have stipulations in there. They'll bring you a
Okay.
dumpster if you want.
Okay.
But that way, if we're out cleaning up a road site and we load up a bunch of junk that day from a
Go
cleanup, we can
straight
actually
on.
just drop it right by there instead of taking it to our yard and
Yeah,
unloading it and going back.
Okay,
So it's set up to where we can drop it off, or they can pick it up, either one.
okay.
The real problem with this stuff is most of what we get are white goods, and they're not very desirable. They're
No.
not. It's more of a cleanup deal. than-
Yeah, it's just a a legal way to
It's a
get rid of it.
disposal. It's not real good stuff, and the scrap business in general is not very good right now anyway, so.
But as far as the culverts and stuff that you had wadded up before and stuck in a dumpster that we had to pay for to get rid of,
Right.
now we could just take them there and not have to cost the county. We could save the county some money.
Put them in their pile.
Yeah. But I'd move that we go ahead and make a motion to
Okay.
approve that.
I'll second it.
Yeah, he did have a price listed on there for a roll-off being placed in the area.
Okay.
I'm sorry, who did the second?
I did.
Okay, thought so, I lost it. Okay, motion by Commissioner Finnegan and second by Commissioner Watts to accept the only bid for scrap metal products from Bell Processing at 60% of the going rate for that. Any other comments or questions? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0.
Let me just interject on that, Mick. We probably need to determine a policy or a method or let Bell know. We would be better served, wouldn't we, if Bell mailed a check to Cheryl in
That'll be-
lieu of our guys handling cash or
Yeah, that'd be fine.
anything, because they're, typically they do that.
Right, but
Right.
no, that's not a good idea.
Can we make that
Oh, yeah.
be part of, set that up?
Yeah.
So the
I
auditor
can let 'em know.
receives the,
That way it goes straight to the auditor's office. Yeah, that's not a
we
problem
don't
at all.
have to.
Cheryl, should that come to your all's office, or cash should go, or check should go to the treasurer's office?
Probably the treasurer's office.
Yeah.
They'll
To Bob.
receipt it in and deposit it.
Okay. And Bob, does there need to be, just like if Mickey takes it, mark it precinct 2 so you can know that, hey, this check from Bell came from precinct 2, or does that money, it goes to Mickey, doesn't it? Or,
I don't think it would.
or,
No.
Check should be made out to me,
It'll just go to the general fund.
precinct 2.
oh, it goes back to general fund, not to, okay, gotcha,
Right.
okay.
I don't think it's done enough to drag anybody over the top.
No, it's not gonna really make money, but it is a way to clean up our yards, so.
And it might be a good idea to let them do a monthly settlement.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't need to be
It's gonna
done.
be a very small amount, if that doesn't infringe on any
Yeah.
rules, that'd be a lot better probably.
There's no reason to have it
Yeah, just run a ledger.
expedited there.
Yeah, monthly settlement
Yeah.
or whatever's going to be probably better.
Let's go ahead and move down to item 12, since there's no reason to have the auditor staff sit here that long. Get to that item. Item 12 is discuss, consider, or take action to approve a quote from Hudson Blueprint for furniture for the auditor's office at a cost of $52,757 to pay from Department 495 budget with specific lines determined by the county auditor. Commissioner Beecham, I believe you brought that out.
Yes, Judge.
just walking through the auditor's office, they have a hodgepodge of hobbled together, mismatched pieces of tape junk. Most of their computers reside on fold-out card tables at this point. This just goes to put that office back into a better usable condition. So it would supply a new desk for each staff member within that office, desk and associated furniture.
And, Judge, I just want to interject that I did receive a comment from county business concerning this, or concerned with their inability, this was Saturday or Sunday morning, their inability to give us a price on this furniture. So I wanted to bring that up just so the court would understand that I guess this was a buy board, or not a buy board, but a Omni,
It's a federal fund.
similar to a project where if you're signed up as a bidder or a provider, then
Well, that's achieved the bidding process by the establishment of those various associations that are recognized by the federal government of the state of Texas.
So,
They have, it's kind of pre-bidding is what it is. And
So-
that's acceptable means of getting a bid or quote for products.
so Don, you might correct me if I get some of this wrong, but Omnia is the federal government's,
It's the federal government that it's a contract that's offered to all taxing entities, county, city, school, and it follows GSA pricing. And that's the best pricing you can get. And it is a federal contract. It used to be called IPA, GCGN. I don't know why they keep changing the name.
so for these particular types of furniture, this would be a best value for Wichita County, probably not a beatable price available
No,
for this.
It's below wholesale.
Okay.
Tracy, nothing that stands out with you on this when that occurs, when we have a constituent that in the furniture business that didn't, maybe for whatever reason, I don't know why they maybe don't have pricing on there, but
Right, this is an alternative to bidding, absolutely legally acceptable.
It is a large sum of money. I mean, I'm just looking through here you're just gonna reset the complete office with new furniture? Is that
Pretty
the?
much.
The furniture, some of it that was there was left over when the AG's office was in there, and that's been more than 20 years ago.
The furniture is literally taped together, propped up. Other Southern Engineering, I have pieces that are literally about to collapse. We've got computers on card tables. And we're not going over our budget. We're still giving back about $200,000 at the end of the year back to the general fund. So we're not asking for additional funds. We're just wanting to reappropriate the funds already budgeted to our office.
Well, you also gave us back $25,000 of not having to use outside auditor assistance.
That's
So,
correct.
Yeah. Can we get you to do a little more of that? You've got a good.
I'm not
service
doing my
office.
best.
Wish we'd get a few others to follow that. Okay. Any other comments, questions?
I mean, we typically buy pickup this way. Generally, I would assume, where they are out there and we select, and it's not been an issue with independents. And I don't know why this was called out specifically, but
somebody reads the agenda and sees an item and wonders why they didn't have a chance to do on it. And, you know, people who reach out, take care of, look at, and come by and check, find out you got a project going on. Donna has worked with us through a lot of projects. We've got Wilson's and Midwest who have also done that, but I'd say she's probably one of the offering free upfront customer service and takes the effort to look at it and say, I can do this and fix this furniture. And I mean, you did the layout for the county clerk's office, and that was bid out, and you were better than one on that.
And does this cover us, Donna, for the installation of this in the office?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And the cleanup and the trash, everything.
Getting rid of everything else that's there, too? Hauling off the stuff?
And
Because that seemed, from past meetings that I've been involved in, it seems like we always have
Well, we sure need a plan there, Mick.
yeah, y'all talk about how it's hard to get rid of all the stuff, so.
We
Maybe
just took a bid on that one ago. We just accepted that.
Yeah, most of us don't even fit to throw in the trash can.
Right.
Now, some of it needs to go to the trash, but I know that some of it's gonna be relocated to some other offices,
Yeah.
because I'll be loaning some furniture to provide.
I've come up with one set, and we'll use a set that was previously in Linda Castillo's office to fulfill the rest of that for the precinct 2 constable. So there's one good desk in credenza that's reusable in the mix. So we'll move that over, and the one that's coming out of Imaging Health, we'll go over. And the one that's in Engine Health is like, nearly like new, so it's a really good piece of furniture.
So we got all the carpeting done in here.
And, no, we've got, half the offices, so we need the other half and in the middle area.
We'll do that in conjunction with this.
So I can put that on for approval next week. I've
Well, wouldn't
already-
it
I've already
be-
got the measurements.
Advantageous, Donna, to,
Absolutely. And their carpet, some of it is taped together with duct tape.
You know, Gorilla Tape doesn't touch.
Yeah. I think you've got to wear it. I think you get some of it.
Yeah. Well, I say that's left over from the AG's office all day.
Yeah, the furniture, the carpet in the offices itself were left over from the AG. The carpet in the middle was put in 2007, roughly. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
pregnant with my youngest during that time, so that's how old the middle carpet is. And all of the furniture is probably older than that.
I don't think that already used that. All right.
Be my motion to approve.
Is there a second? No, you're a second?
Second, good.
Thank you. Hey, any other comments or questions on that item? Okay, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Thank you all for coming over.
Actually, we're here for item 10 as well, so.
Oh, okay. Well, then why don't we go ahead and do item 10? Discuss, consider, take action on payroll for elected appointed officials for 2021 disbursements.
Okay, so, looking at the calendar, we noticed that there are 27 checks in 2021 versus 26 checks. As we know, appointed and elected officials cannot go over our budgeted salaries. So we're bringing it to you guys to decide whether or not we want to take our salaries for those officials and divide it over 27 checks versus 26. So we'll be getting less each check, but the same overall for the year. Or whether or not you want to go ahead and approve a full 27th paycheck, which would essentially increase all of our salaries for the year.
does it fall back the following year immediately?
Well, then in 2022, it goes back to 26 checks, so it'll go back to what we're used to.
Not to
seeing.
25?
This is
No, it
once
doesn't.
every 7 years, I believe. That's it.
Yes, it's one of these weird flukes that happens every
How have we typically handled this, Judge?
We paid 27 checks. One of the things I've wondered, why on elected and appointed officials who are exempt, we don't go to a monthly paycheck, one a month, do it?
It's harder keeping track of it when we're on a bi-weekly cycle, and then we've got a monthly check in there as well. It kind of throws off the entire,
I don't
function.
know if you paid it on the first payday.
Well, it would just accrue different, I mean, it would,
Yeah. I mean, if we could set a date that it would be paid on the first payday of the following month of running it.
Yeah, I mean, we could do that. It's a little more difficult on the accounting side when we've got.
Okay,
all these
before
side
HIP
bills.
calls, then you've already,
Yeah.
then let's stop doing that.
Question, Judge. Okay, we were on 26, now we're on 27, then we go back to 26.
Yeah.
If I'm understanding this correctly, we're not really changing the
We're not.
amount of money over a
Over the years.
2-year period or 3-year period.
Right,
It's
we're
just-
not changing.
Change it for what,
Yeah, it's,
yeah.
yeah, it's, and if you were, you're only gonna be employed here for 2020 or 21, it'd make a difference. But if you're gonna continue to be on the payroll, it's gonna average
We just
out.
don't want any surprises when your check
Yeah.
is a little less than you were accustomed to seeing.
It's just gonna pull it out of another accounting year.
Yeah, it's just
I
gonna
understand.
take it over 27 checks versus 26, which is what we're used to seeing.
Seems like it would be simpler just to leave it.
that's what you said you've done before and paid 27?
I believe that's what it's been done before, yes.
It's gonna correct itself the following year. It's just, would we have to make a transfer to cover that?
The budget should be fine, because budget's based, is an accrual-based,
Right.
accounting system, whereas the paycheck date is more of a cash-based, so the budget will be fine.
It's not more money if you average it over the 2 years, basically, is what I'm saying. It's just an
We still need to be
accounting.
making the same annual amount,
Yeah,
if you divide out over 27 checks.
right.
But if you add the check, then you'll make more in 2021 than you would,
In 22.
Correct.
yes.
That's what's easier on the accounting staff. That's-
We can go either way with that. We just, like I said, didn't want any surprises.
Keep the same check at the same amount, 27 checks. That's the way it's been done in the past.
And is that any different, is all the payroll different? I guess everybody's,
Everybody will get that 27th check, but
Okay.
the others are not limited, so as elected and appointed officials, we can't go over our budgeted amount
Oh, we
without
can't.
a court
Okay.
order.
without a court order.
Yeah.
But you can't even do it then. You can't change an elected official's salary once it's set for that year.
That's why we signed the release, isn't it?
So I'm gonna have to go 27 checks.
No, because sheriffs, unfortunately, are the ones come in a small county and immediately tell them what they're gonna work for the next year. And it's, no, that is set, advertised in the paper, and you're held to it.
Well, so that kind of answers that though, doesn't it?
Right, but it's still gonna be the same amount, it's whether you want to divide it by 26 or by 27. And I don't guess you have an idea.
We're
No.
gonna have to go to 27 checks. I mean, that's our only option. We're still getting paid 27 checks. Or we go one paycheck without it.
Yeah, we would take for Commissioner $63,000 and divide it by 27, and that'd be our paycheck,
Yes.
Correct.
as opposed to dividing it by 26.
Right. So you would receive less per paycheck,
But
the
it's-
same annual amount.
But according to what I'm understanding here, that we don't have the ability to change that amount of money, so we would need to divide it by 27.
Yes.
Okay, so I'll make that motion.
I'll second that.
27. Is there a second?
I second.
I have to work on my own family budget. I take a certain amount of my money now and have less money, but I can tell you right now, Chris is gonna expect the same amount every 2 weeks in. So thanks a lot,
So
Cheryl.
that's why we didn't want to surprise you on January 1st.
Yeah, well, I got a surprise. This past paycheck was a little less.
Yes, mine was too.
Yeah, okay, 'cause we didn't have enough days left and,
I guess so.
yeah. All right. Any other comment on this momentous thing? Okay, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Thank you, motion carries 5-0. You got anything else y'all want?
No, I think we're good.
All right.
All right, you have pictures.
You're welcome to stay, but.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
I've got chart of accounts work to do.
Okay.
Did we have janitorial bills?
Okay,
Well, it's next.
it's next.
But did we have any?
Oh, yeah, we have.
We had the bids, we opened those, you got a document in there.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking we're fixing to open them. I was reading it wrong. I just, the scrap metal throwed me.
All right. Item number 3 is discuss, consider, take action to award the janitorial bids for 2021. In your packet is a listing of all of those products and who bid them, and who was the apparent low bidder is marked in the far right-hand column. Unless there's a reason to make, or Mr. Law recommends anything different than that, we could have a motion that adopting these award the lowest bidders as tabulated in the exhibit.
So moved.
Second.
Any comments or questions about any of the items? Really, thank you, that makes it a lot easier when you do it that way.
Good bid activity, we always like that. Quite a few people participating, that always makes the process
Yeah,
good.
okay. All in favor of the motion by Commissioner Beecham, second by Commissioner Muller, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Item 4 is discuss, consider, take action to approve a quote from Wolf Overhead Door to replace the electronic gate operator at the Emergency Management Office at a cost not to exceed $6,733.24 to be paid by transfer from general fund contingencies with specific lines determined by the county auditor. Commissioner Finn Cannon and I went over, and he offered some other people and had recommendations on this and working with Mr. Burgoyne. And we feel like, Lord, do you have anything else to add?
Well, I will tell you that, just so everybody knows, there were 4 bids. There were 4 gate companies contacted. I think only 2 of them submitted bids. The other 2 contacted, they weren't interested in electronics. But there was about almost a $4,000 difference in the two bids, so this is by far the best price out there.
Isn't that more than the entire gate cost originally?
Yeah, the electronic parts of it, because it's the gate opener, the keypad, the inlays in the ground and all that, but
I was thinking that's about what the whole deal cost when we had it put in, but I may be wrong, that's wrong.
The gate is still gonna stay there. In fact, the guy that built that gate, did he want something to do the installation on it?
yeah, he was contacted, but he didn't want to do the electronics. The structure, he would have been the best person, but for electronics, he's not.
Well, this has been an ongoing problem for a while, so
It's had lightning hits, it's had everything in the world.
make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Any other comments or questions? Okay, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Thank you. Item 5, discuss, consider, take action to approve the purchase of 3 IT-built computers, 2 for the sheriff's office patrol, and 1 for the sheriff's office sergeant at a cost of $1,000 each, and 2 Fujitsu FI-7180 scanners at a cost of $1,469 to be paid from LEC bond funds. Ashley, I guess you can have this one up here.
Yes, sir. After they moved out to the LSC, they added some additional desks. So there's one new sergeant desk and then two new desks in patrol. So these two new computers will fill those desks. Same with the scanner.
Okay. Thank you.
A motion to accept, Judge, as presented.
Second.
Any other comments or questions on this item? Okay. Motion by Commissioner Watts, second by Commissioner Beecham, to approve the item as stated. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Okay, item number 6, discuss and consider take action to approve the purchase of 2 Dell rugged tablets, including all accessories for Constable Precinct 2 and his deputy constable in amount not to exceed $8,293.51 to be paid by transfer from general fund contingencies with specific lines to be determined by the county auditor. Ms. Cullen.
Currently, Constable Precinct 2 doesn't have any sort of technology, so this would be the computer. It's basically like a tough book, except it has the ability, it's a tablet that has a tough keyboard. This also include the dock for their offices, screens for the offices, and then also a mount in the car to allow the tablet to sit in.
What are they gonna do? What is it gonna communicate with?
Yeah.
Well, the tablet itself, if they're gonna use it in the car, they can use their county cell phone's
Okay.
hotspot. And then there is Wi-Fi located outside of precinct 2, and then they can use it in any, county office.
Okay, we
What are-
don't want them driving up next to Love's truck stop and jumping on to a public domain, do we?
No, they can totally pull up to Starbucks and hop on.
Yeah.
They'll just connect VPN back to here and it'll be secure.
Okay, all right.
I have a question on that. Does the Precinct 1 Constable's office have these same books in their vehicles?
No, sir.
Do they have tablets like this in their vehicles?
No, sir.
So that's the question I have is for what are they using them for is what I'm trying to determine, because,
So the plan is, trying to plan ahead, on our part.
Okay.
We would like to look at adding some software in the near future that would allow, the civil papers to be delivered electronically. Whereas they're not printing out the abundance of paper that they do, driving back and forth to their office to pick up the paperwork. It would all be readily on the tablet. They could then take it, once they serve the paper, the person can electronically sign and go back to their car and either email them a receipt or type in the service directly from their car and send it back to the office. That's the overall
So,
goal. So
I
this,
see.
this setup is keeping that in mind.
but that's probably something down the road that might happen in a year or two.
I know I would like to do it very quickly.
Through all the
Okay.
offices, Ash.
Yes,
So-
so this would be just the first step, and then we would need to move all the rest of the constables to this type of scenario as well. I know that Judge Little, now, when he takes office for constable, he's gonna want the exact same setup for his guys.
Well, and none of that's gonna mean anything until we get that roughly $100,000 worth of software.
Yes, now they can still access Odyssey from their cars as well.
Yeah.
They still have access to pull up the papers, or, technically, they can print the papers out in a mobile printer in their car, if that's the way we wanted to go about it. There are several different ways that we can approach it.
Is it really necessary, aren't the tough books about twice the price?
No, not the Dells. Now, if we went with the Panasonic Tough Book, this type scenario right here, you'd be looking at $8,000 for one. So the actual Panasonic Tough Books are almost double the price.
Well, I just hadn't realized tablets were that.
So you would like for 2021 to fully incorporate this through the rest of those and put them on so that we're virtually paperless?
Correct. This would also carry for constables and then the constables in the sheriff's office as well.
It also streamlines that flow of that paperwork. It carries it from here to here instead of
Right.
here and here and here.
Get it scanned back in and all that stuff.
Right.
And then I have another question. I'm sorry to ask this, but as far as county patrol deputies, right now in their vehicle, they have a computer?
No, sheriff does not allow,
All right.
computers in the courtroom.
So I'm just trying to see the purpose for it. So they don't log out through dispatch or anything when they're on scene or anything like that?
No,
This can become a factor for civil in the sheriff's.
Yeah, this is really not from a criminal perspective as it is from civil.
I know that, but
Paperwork
I'm just trying to
into
see, if
Odyssey.
you have a computer in your office, the reason you have it in your office, because you're tied to a link with other people in this area. If you put 2 of these tough books in their vehicle, they're not really tied to anybody,
Just to our
right?
system.
Is that what you're saying? Are they tied to the county? They are tied to the county system? Okay.
So, these actually have docking stations, and so in their office, it will allow them to bring the tablet into their
Same.
office, dock it, and then we have a functioning
Okay.
computer. They can also do anything from home. I mean,
Okay.
yeah.
They will
So-
not have an office computer. This will take place of the office computer.
Yes,
It'll
I mean,
be a
they'll,
docking station.
yes, they'll have
Okay.
set up monitors, and then this will dock.
Does it lock into the docking station in the vehicle?
Yes,
Mhm.
I mean.
Key
there's
unlock.
key-
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And this function within Odyssey to allow us to implement this is functioning today.
No, so this is an added software piece. We saw this in Colin. Like I said, their entire service is all electronic. And there were some pieces lacking in Odyssey that are in the sheriff's office that have to do with the sales and money distributing financial piece that Odyssey just doesn't do because there's this software called Softcode. So Softcode actually is its own independent software, but it talks back and forth with Odyssey, and so they work together, and this piece allows everything to be submitted electronically.
Is it a Tyler product?
Yes, sir.
I thought so. Okay. So it's compatible, I have to worry about that.
No, sir.
So you can realize we're probably talking somewhere in the neighborhood of 8 more computers. Not sure how many are in the civil section.
I think there's 3.
Three.
Well, I was thinking about it, and so then you've got 5, you got 3 more constables and 2 deputy constables that we'd be looking at for this. But if we make that software investment, then that's part of the package.
Yeah, and I mean, if we were able to track the amount of paper, time, and, to and from gas mileage wise,
Which is cumbersome right now to do, is very cumbersome, and I've been
because
involved
they,
with
they
that.
come into the office and then they'll print out the paperwork and then they have to drive to serve it. So then let's say that the person's not there or the address they have is incorrect. So they could be going back and forth to the same place 3 or 4 times. Then once it is served, then they have to drive back to the office, fill out the return, that gets turned in, and then it gets hand carried over from there back to the district clerk's office.
Well, and this would put it all, originally, when we had the clerk in Constable 1, the idea was that clerk would clerk for all 4 constables. This now will make that a much more workable process because electronically everything's going to be
And then once Jared has it down, he could also be a good catalyst for the other ones to help them kind
Yes,
of,
and
because
we
he's,
had- so we had
he's
a
very
demo.
capable.
So we had a demo in Burchett and Little, Gowan, they were all very excited about it.
Okay.
So, yeah, they saw it, and it's really great. They're allowed to, it basically serves as like a queue type scenario. As it comes available, they log into their dashboard and they click it and it selects that they're actually serving it, so someone else doesn't serve it on top of them. They can make all their notes right there, allows them to take a picture of the person that's signing it. Person can sign on the tablet, they can go back to their car, type in the return, it immediately goes back to the clerk and she can finish it off and send it directly over to the district clerk. It allows them, they can pull up GPS directly from it. They can click it, it'll automatically give them directions, pulls up Google Maps so they can actually see where they're delivering it to, which Gavin was very happy about because he said sometimes you don't know if you're going to an empty lot. And so to be able to pull it up and see, hey, this is an empty lot, and then figure out the address prior to would save them time. So it has a lot of really good features.
Will they have a printer in the car for people
Yes,
that actually want paper?
yes.
All right, any other questions?
I'll make the motion, Judge, we move forward.
Thank you. Second?
Yes.
Okay. Motion by Commissioner Watts, second by Commissioner Beecham to approve the item as stated. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed, same sign, motion carries 5-0. Item number 7 is discuss, consider, take action to approve the purchase of free file enhancement from Tyler Technologies in the amount of $43,200. Tyler will copy the free filing CVR and update by adding multi-case creation if jailing includes both felony and misdemeanor offenses. This is to be paid from 100.412.3151 or a line determined by the county auditor. Ms. Cully.
This is an enhancement request that we basically asked Tyler to design for us. One of the issues that we have, and we knew going into it, the way we have our pre-file set up is, so the cases that we have, whenever you're arrested, you automatically get a pre-file case. Basically, that is what CMO offers. It took the place of that. So there's this case that all of your stuff goes into, and then whenever that gets ready to be filed, the pre-file case gets pulled up to the district clerk. Well, the pre-file doesn't actually have the ability to split out a felony and a misdemeanor. So right now, we have our automatic pre-file turned off, which means that Leslie's office is manually creating pre-files. So this pre-file enhancement would allow the software to actually go back to being automated and separate each case out. So if I get arrested and I have 3 felonies and 2 misdemeanors, it's going to create me 2 separate pre-files. It's going to put all my felonies together and it'll put all my misdemeanors together. Whereas now, there's a pre-file for every single solitary charge that I have. By doing this, it's going to carry all the way through the system and make it a lot easier for everyone else. That's the way the district attorney's office works, multi-count, the same in the district clerk, and it causes issues due to the fact that there's a case number for every single solitary charge. So this would allow us to bring it up all consolidated together. It'll make multi-counts much easier. It'll also make when we send information packets when they go to prison. They have been rejecting some of our PIN packets due to the case numbers, and this would alleviate all of that.
Yes, ma'am.
So when there's a 29 count indictment, there's just gonna be one case number? If this software works?
If you're all a felony,
Yeah.
yes.
On the OCA, what will it count it as? One case or 29 cases?
It would be the one case.
Because it needs to count it as 29 cases.
That's not how we're running that.
Yeah, it is. Because everything's got its own case number.
Okay, well, then, if I remember correctly, that was one of the issues that the judges had, and we got a recommendation from OCA, how to move forward with that, and they were fine with the one case.
So our felony indictments will drop considerably.
And our caseload numbers will go down.
And then,
Not.
right, and they were well aware of that. That's not how they didn't care.
I don't,
Judge McKnight had this meeting several months ago, and that was discussed today. I'm sorry, Commissioner, go ahead.
I was kind of following what she was saying about 29, if you have 29 felony indictments, and you're saying it's going to be one case number, on those 29 felony indictments, that could be 29 different victims, so they're all filed as different case numbers. So that didn't make any sense to me how it would go to one case number here, because the DA's office might very well pick 5 of those cases to no bill and then indict them on, a different portion of that. So I don't understand that. I don't understand the logistics behind that. Am I wrong on that, Laura?
No,
I don't quite understand that either. I agree with what she's saying, because every case is filed. It's a different case number, a different victim. So I don't know how you could all of a sudden put them all in one case number over here.
Well, if that's not how the district attorney wants to file them, then that's not how they would be filed. I mean, they still have full control over how they're going to, whatever gets no build. It's just, makes it more seamless as it comes up through the clerk's office. Like, as of right now, they're doing everything manually. They're creating a number for every single solitary charge.
Right.
So there's a pre-call number for every single one. And then as it gets moved through the system and the district attorney gets it, they may take that one pre-file and end up adding those 4 charges to it. They're doing it a multi-count. And from the beginning of the system, it was not. It causes charge notice issues on our side.
Well, if you had it under one and the grand jury no bill on that one, it wouldn't drop them all, would it?
No, it just drops the no bills.
That's what I'm having a hard time
That would be
following.
my fear, is that they'd slip through the system.
No.
But
There's
there,
always been a problem separating the felonies and the, from the, we've had trouble with that in several different systems of keeping that straight,
Well,
because
and
they get lost in the system and.
And the reason why is, the reason for the enhancement is because of how our business process is. You know, the DA's office assigns certain attorneys to certain courts and certain misdemeanors or felonies. So it makes it very cumbersome to create this automated portion of Tyler when there's so many things that are not allowing it to be automated. So the best way to approach it is to be able to split those off and have the felonies go together and the misdemeanors go together, and then that way the district attorney has more control over the ability to assign the cases.
And if I remember right, in the past, we were having trouble because you would prosecute somebody on a felony and you had several misdemeanors hanging on and they wouldn't get picked up, and then we'd have them paper ready and they couldn't judge them.
But
Remember
that's
that,
true.
right?
That has been resolved for quite some
Okay,
time now.
well, yeah, I knew that was a big problem at one time with getting people out here and moving the system through, so that's not gonna interfere.
There's some additional.
And maybe it'll help with that, you know.
That the judges are considering on submitting a deal to have a modification to the county court of law where under some of these, they can go ahead and deal with the felony and the misdemeanor both.
Yeah.
It would move things along. Paul, you were shaking your head a while ago.
Yeah, just because, like I said, whenever there's a difference between charges and counts.
Yes.
So, you know, just because you've got 10 charges, it doesn't mean that you don't have several counts on a charge. So, like I said, that counts for my office. Every count is a case. So we have to work every count in a charge. So, like I said, if she was saying 1 through 29, my office is gonna work every 29 of those things and see what we can do the best thing for our client. And if they're taking that ability away from us, then that makes my numbers go down for my reports, and it makes us look like that we're just doing 1 whenever we actually have 29. So that's where I have a problem with that as well.
I'm not taking your ability away to do anything. I'm trying to make it easier.
Not you personally.
Well, I mean, the system's not taking your ability away to do any of that. I'm just trying to make it easier as it comes through, where we have, it makes it easier for everyone who is picking up these charges and these cases, and the district attorney's office to be able to pull through what they want to pull through. This is not taking your ability away.
Curtis, flip those two switches to your left hand or now, please, sir.
Thank you.
It's just, you know, I don't understand why we have to keep paying I mean, we're gonna pay them the rest of our lives now, but this was something that was already supposed to be in the package, was
No,
supposed
it
to
was
work.
never in the package.
I was upstairs in a meeting 3-4 years ago, and this is the way it was supposed to work. Pre-calls were gonna work, this was gonna work, that was gonna work. That's why we bought the system.
The
Got
pre-calls,
in here, and that's not the way it works.
the pre-calls do work. That's what we're using right now. This is just something to try to make it easier for everyone else.
This is a package that we put a lot of work into ourselves.
Oh, Vanessa designed this.
Okay, that's what but Meredith, she had oversight here as well, didn't she?
She was one of the ones that was so mad when we found out pre-calls didn't work.
Pre-calls do work. Just not how we had initially wanted it to work, which is what this solution is.
Oh. This 3151, this fund, is that the Tyler
No,
fund?
that's actually coming from IT, but it's our computer software line, it's left over from our phone program.
It sounds to me like we're not all on the same page yet.
Do-
What I'm
I mean,
hearing, it
yeah,
sounds like there's some confusion still.
I don't believe anybody's talked to our office about it.
No one's talked to us about it.
Who, as of right now, you said that the judges spoke to IT about it and the district attorneys? Who?
Judge McKnight, several months ago, had a meeting, invited all the judges, all the clerk's offices, everybody came there, and this was discussed. I think Jim was there. Yeah, I mean, so and it was covered in that, and everybody in that, I thought agreed with the method we're talking about now.
Okay.
But we all knew it was gonna take a modification to the software.
And the reason I might be wrong, this seems like this would affect the district clerk's office more probably than anybody, the district attorney's office and the district clerk's office more. And this fee is to write software?
Yes, and
So-
let me back up. When I say, I mean, if we turn this on tomorrow, most people probably wouldn't even realize it. It's going to help the bond office. It's not like I'm rewriting everything and gonna totally change how everything's done. I did not write this, so I can't, go into deep depth like Vanessa can and explain exactly every little minuscule thing that's gonna change the whole entire way up. But it's basically just making it combined, and it's the same process. They're still gonna pull the case up and the charges up just like they were before. It's just instead of having every pre-file for every single charge, it's gonna create one pre-file and put all the charges together. And then if the district attorney's office wants to pull them out and separate them differently, then that's how they're going to file the case, which is what they do now.
Because the filing initiates with the DA's office,
Correct.
either whether it's felony or misdemeanor or a
Correct.
combination of.
Right.
The only problem I see is if you have let's say, 30 count pre-file, where it's all going into one. And then the DA decides they're only gonna do 20 of those 30. How's the pre-file gonna come up when all the pre-files are now together? It's gonna bring up to 30, and we've got to decide which thing to take out.
No, when those are, whenever they either do a no bill or don't charge, it's the same principle of how they file it with you now. You may get a charge for 4 different things, and then by the time it makes it to your office, they've dropped 2 or they've enhanced 1. They do all that on the back end when they file.
I just, I have to see it work.
To me, I think we probably need to all get together and have a discussion and make sure everybody's on the same page before we agree to pay for this.
And
I mean, I'm not saying we don't need it, we probably do, but it
I
doesn't,
agree.
doesn't sound like there's a lot of coordination right now.
We don't have the funds available in the following year.
We can encumber the funds and move them across the year.
No, you can't.
Well,
No.
I talked to Cheryl about that on other projects and she's fine with it.
Well, why don't we just move forward with it and still have a meeting? I mean,
I mean, the problem is there's nothing, I mean, I can talk about it, and Vanessa can explain it on a whiteboard, but it's not there. They're physically writing it, so I can't give any tutorial on.
Right.
on what-
You're authorizing funds to be spent to write a software package. And that's all I'm saying is, if these people haven't been included in developing what needs to be written in that software package, then why would we not want to let them have their concerns voiced before it's actually written? I'm not opposed to spending the money on it because it seems like we continually spend more and more money on software. That's one thing I've noticed, and I've been here a real short time, but we spend a ton of money on it. And then we come back in a year and we say, well, we thought that was going to fix it, but it didn't, so we're going to have to rewrite this. I just think we should get the people together first that are going to use it and make sure it has the things in it that we need.
That's exactly how I feel.
But I'm not opposed to the,
Another factor in that, one thing that always jumps out at me is, I tell you, the maintenance on this software, the annual fees,
Oh, yeah, I mean, there's,
We're building a cost scale out through the next few years that we've got to consider in the cost of this stuff. We need to know what the maintenance fees, because these maintenance fees are going up, and that's an ongoing expense that we're gonna have to budget for. We gotta be careful with that.
it's not getting any cheaper for the
No, it's
county
not.
or private business or anything else though, so.
Well, the other thing, if the money's not spent in this year, money goes back to the general fund.
Right.
We have contingency funds set up in 2021. That's not going to be a breaker, and we have an ample IT budget. If we think we need to take and get some more buy-in and explain this a little bit and ease those questions, then the money issue is not the issue. The buy-in and understanding to me is important. So if you wish to have and give some time, I realize that's not gonna happen this week, probably next week, but if we can, but I think it's important to bring back, kind of audience that, Judge McKnight did, so you've got everybody that was in it back in it again, and make sure it's understood before you do it.
Again, IT's overall goal was to make things easier for everyone.
I'm sorry, what?
I said IT's overall goal was to make things easier for everybody.
Right,
Right.
and I realize that if you don't have understanding and going in, then I think the resistance, we've had enough resistance. I don't think a couple of weeks is gonna hurt us on this. Okay? So let's do that, get that set up and have, the people you need to get together. But I'd say I look at the group that Judge McKnight provided, and we'll see if we get that same buy-in.
Was that the meeting in his courtroom that we
Yes,
had? Okay.
And I'm not resistant to any of this. I just want to make sure it's something that's actually going to work. I mean, financials were supposed to work, the AG payments were supposed to work, AG billing is supposed to work. All this is supposed to work, and we're a year and a half into this, and it's not working.
And
So
Commissioner Watson, I
this is
made a
another
call.
thing that kind of scares me. It's like, okay, so now 29 cases turn into one. It looks like Wichita County, people are going to want to move here because our statistics, I can't say that word, is going to go down. And then they're like, oh, well, great. They had 20 murders and now they only have one because it was all combined into one. It's just,
Sound like a great idea to me.
well, it does.
Let's get everybody's questions and concerns answered before we agree to spend this kind of money. I don't say that we don't need it. I imagine we probably do, and I imagine it's a really good thing. But let's ease everyone's concerns and questions first.
Hey, as far as put you a little bit at ease, we did meet with Commissioner Watson. I met with the president of Tyler Court Software, where they have assigned a new project person. And so far, we're seeing good things coming out of that with no additional cost to Wichita County. Unless we ask for something outside of the scope, then that, like this, would have a cost to it.
Yeah.
Right now, we're trying to get everything taken care of, but a lot of it had to do with what we thought was gonna be a good migration of information. It wasn't so good in coming from our previous software to where we are now. But I think we've got the best approach going right now that we can. And I know you have put up against this whole thing, put up a great deal of frustration. Okay. So you would set something up to work out there, Scully, we appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Okay. Item number 8 is discuss, consider, and take action to purchase global industrial COVID-19 shields providers for the tax assessor collector's office at a cost of up to $5,000 plus shipping replacement between clerks and supervisors in accordance with OSHA's guidance on preparing workplaces for COVID-19 to be paid from Fund 260 with possible reimbursement from COVID relief funds.
The tax office is on the phone.
Who is?
The tax office.
Okay. Mr. Smythe?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead and give us what, the background on this.
Well, we've what we've tried to do is try to devise a system, Judge, to, go ahead and try to mitigate as much of this is between our staff. We reinserted all of our glass back in March, put in flow-through ventilators, and our staff are wearing masks, but from the standpoint of trying to cut down on employee transmission to employee transmission, we don't have any dividers whatsoever, at all. So we're looking at this as another opportunity to try to add another layer of mitigation to our main office here. This expense will cover the entire main annex. We do not need any of this at our three field offices from the layout that they currently have. So there's no additional cost as far as coming back before the court a month from now or 3 weeks from now asking for the same thing twice. This covers all of our entire staff here. This covers our supervisors on the motor vehicle side. We've rearranged and moved and tweaked everything we can tweak from